Good evening, everyone. What if I told you that everything you've ever wanted, every goal you've dreamt of, every relationship you've hoped to cultivate, every dream you've wanted to chase is within your grasp? But there's one thing standing in your way. It's not your lack of skills, it's not your circumstances, and it's certainly not the challenges you face. The one thing that's holding you back is the way you think. Our thoughts hold an extraordinary power over our lives. They shape our experiences, influence our actions, and ultimately determine the reality we live in. Every belief, every idea, and every internal conversation we have with ourselves sets the stage for how we interact with the world. The truth is, what we believe we become. If you think you are capable of achieving your goals, you will take steps toward them. But if you think you're destined to fail, your actions consciously or unconsciously will reinforce that belief. In this way, our thoughts act as both a mirror and a compass, reflecting who we are and guiding us to where we are headed. Changing the way you think is not just a matter of adjusting your mindset. It's a transformative process that can shift the course of your life. Imagine for a moment that you had the ability to control the narrative in your mind. Instead of focusing on the limitations and obstacles in front of you, you could reframe them as challenges to overcome, as opportunities for growth. This shift in perspective opens the door to infinite possibilities. When we change the way we think, we unlock the potential to break free from patterns of self-doubt and fear that hold us back. We begin to see opportunities where others see problems. We start to believe in our own potential, and with that belief, our actions change. The power of thought goes beyond simply achieving personal goals. It extends to the way we engage with the world around us. When we change the way we think about others, we begin to cultivate empathy and understanding. When we shift our thoughts from judgment to curiosity, we open ourselves up to new perspectives and deeper connections. This change in thought patterns has the potential to transform not just our personal lives, but the world itself. As we start to think differently, we begin to interact with the world in a more compassionate, open-minded, and purposeful way. This ripple effect can inspire others to change their thinking as well, creating a collective shift toward greater understanding, kindness, and collaboration. The process of changing the way we think is not an easy one. It requires constant self-reflection and awareness. It requires courage to challenge old beliefs and to be vulnerable in the face of uncertainty. But the reward is immense. When we take control of our thoughts, we take control of our lives. We create a reality that reflects our deepest desires and highest potential. Every positive thought, every change in mindset is a small but significant step toward creating the life we want to live. The world around us may not change overnight, but as we change the way we think, we begin to change the world, one thought at a time. We all carry beliefs, some conscious, some hidden deep within us, that shape the way we perceive ourselves and the world around us. These beliefs are powerful forces that influence every decision we make, the actions we take, and the opportunities we pursue. However, not all beliefs are empowering. Some of the most insidious beliefs we hold are those that limit us, confining us to a small, restricted view of what we can achieve. These limiting beliefs are the silent barriers that prevent us from reaching our full potential. They whisper things like, "I'm not good enough," "I'll never be successful," or "this is as far as I can go." Over time, these beliefs shape our behavior and narrow our possibilities, creating a reality that is far less than what we are capable of. The danger of limiting beliefs is that they often go unnoticed. We don't always recognize when we're holding ourselves back because these beliefs feel like truths. For example, if we've been told all our lives that success is reserved for a few or that we aren't capable of greatness, it can become part of our identity. We may find ourselves avoiding new challenges or giving up on dreams simply because deep down we believe that we are not deserving of more. It's easy to accept these beliefs as facts, and as a result, we often don't even attempt to break free from them. But the truth is, these beliefs are not facts. They are stories we've created, often based on past experiences or the opinions of others. The first step in overcoming limiting beliefs is recognizing them. This requires self-awareness, the willingness to look inward and question the thoughts and patterns that govern our lives. Once we identify these beliefs, we can begin to challenge them. We must ask ourselves, where did this belief come from? Is it true? Does it serve me? More often than not, we find that these beliefs are not rooted in reality, but in fear, past failures, or external expectations that we've internalized. By examining the origins of our beliefs, we can start to dismantle them. Overcoming limiting beliefs also requires cultivating a mindset of growth. Instead of seeing failure as a reflection of our limitations, we can view it as an opportunity to learn and grow. When we shift our perspective, we allow ourselves to embrace the possibility of success, no matter how uncertain or challenging the journey may seem. We begin to understand that our potential is not fixed at something we can continue to develop, evolve, and expand. The process of letting go of limiting beliefs is not easy. It takes time, effort, and a willingness to step into the unknown. But it is through this process that we can break free from the constraints that have held us back. As we challenge and replace these limiting beliefs with empowering ones, we open up new possibilities and create a life that reflects our true potential. The moment we stop believing in our limitations is the moment we start truly living. Growth is an intentional process, and like any meaningful change, it begins with awareness. Without an understanding of where we are starting from, it becomes impossible to chart a course for where we want to go. Self-awareness is the bedrock upon which all growth and transformation are built. It is the ability to observe and recognize the patterns in our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors without judgment. It is the practice of becoming conscious of the narratives we tell ourselves and understanding how these narratives shape our actions and decisions. When we lack self-awareness, we move through life on autopilot, reacting to situations rather than proactively creating the life we desire. Growth, however, requires us to step off that autopilot mode and engage with ourselves intentionally, with a deep understanding of who we are in this moment. Being self-aware is not just about recognizing our strengths, it's about acknowledging our weaknesses, biases, and the limiting beliefs we carry. It's about uncovering the beliefs and thought patterns that govern our lives, many of which we may not even realize we hold. For example, we might have internalized the idea that we are not good enough or that failure is a reflection of our worth. These unconscious beliefs dictate how we respond to challenges, opportunities, and setbacks. Without self-awareness, we might continue to live out these patterns, unconsciously reinforcing them in every aspect of our lives. But once we become aware of them, we can begin to challenge them, choosing to let go of what no longer serves us. Awareness is the key that unlocks the door to growth. When we are conscious of our mindset, we can begin to make intentional changes. We can start to ask ourselves powerful questions like, what am I thinking right now? How does this belief or thought serve me? Why do I react the way I do in certain situations? This type of reflection creates space for growth because it allows us to examine our behaviors and the motivations behind them. It gives us the ability to choose new responses, shift perspectives, and reframe our experiences in a way that supports our development. Self-awareness also helps us identify areas for improvement. It reveals where we may be holding ourselves back and highlights opportunities for learning and growth. Through self-reflection, we can pinpoint the habits, thoughts, and attitudes that need to be transformed in order to become the person we aspire to be. In this way, awareness is not just an observation, it is a catalyst for change. When we cultivate self-awareness, we empower ourselves to take control of our growth. We stop blaming external circumstances or other people for where we are in life, and instead we look inward, understanding that our thoughts, beliefs, and actions are the true drivers of our experiences. Awareness lays the foundation for every transformation that follows, and it is the first crucial step toward unlocking our full potential. Vulnerability is often misunderstood in our society. It is frequently seen as a sign of weakness, something to be avoided or hidden. We are taught to shield our true selves, to protect our emotions, and to present a strength and invulnerability to the world. However, true strength lies not in the absence of vulnerability, but in our willingness to embrace it. Vulnerability is not a flaw or a sign of fragility. It is, in fact, a source of immense power. It takes courage to show up as our authentic selves, to reveal our fears, our imperfections, and our uncertainties. But it is through vulnerability that we allow ourselves to grow, learn, and evolve in ways that would otherwise be impossible. When we embrace vulnerability, we open ourselves up to deeper connections with others. Vulnerability is the key to authentic relationships because it allows us to drop the masks we wear and be seen for who we truly are. In being vulnerable, we give others the opportunity to do the same. This mutual exchange creates a space where empathy, trust, and understanding can flourish. It is through our shared vulnerabilities that we find common ground and create bonds that are real and meaningful. Vulnerability is the doorway to intimacy, both with ourselves and with others. Furthermore, vulnerability is essential for personal growth. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we step into the unknown, facing challenges and uncertainties that push us beyond our comfort zones. It takes courage to expose ourselves to potential failure, rejection, or disappointment. But it is in those moments of risk that we learn the most about ourselves. We learn resilience, adaptability, and strength that we never knew we had. By taking risk, by stepping into discomfort, we create the conditions for growth. If we remain closed off, protected by the walls we build around ourselves, we limit our potential. It is only by allowing ourselves to be vulnerable that we can experience the fullness of life and unlock new levels of personal development. Moreover, embracing vulnerability leads to greater self-acceptance. It is through acknowledging our vulnerabilities, our imperfections, flaws, and fears that we begin to accept ourselves as we are. We stop seeking perfection or trying to live up to external expectations. Instead, we embrace our authenticity, knowing that our worth is not tied to how perfect or invulnerable we appear. By accepting our vulnerability, we free ourselves from the pressure to conform to societal standards and allow ourselves to live more honestly and freely. Ultimately, vulnerability is not a sign of weakness, but of immense strength. It takes great courage to face our fears, to expose our true selves, and to live authentically. It is through vulnerability that we grow, connect with others, and experience life in its fullest form. By embracing vulnerability, we unlock the potential for deep transformation, both within ourselves and in the world around us. Changing the way we think often requires a deep, transformative process, and at the heart of that transformation is the courage to let go of old, outdated thought patterns. These mental habits and beliefs, formed over time, become ingrained in our lives, influencing how we approach challenges, relationships, and opportunities. They shape our reality, often in ways that limit our growth and potential. To evolve and reach new heights, we must be willing to release these mental constraints and make space for new, more empowering ways of thinking. But letting go is not easy. It demands courage, as it means stepping into the unknown, embracing uncertainty, and surrendering the comfort of familiarity. The thought patterns we hold onto are often tied to our sense of identity. For example, we may have adopted beliefs about our worth, abilities, or the way the world works based on past experiences or the opinions of others. Over time, these beliefs become so deeply embedded in our thinking that they feel like truths. It takes courage to question them, to confront the reality that they may no longer serve us, and to open ourselves up to new possibilities. Letting go of these outdated beliefs is not about discarding who we are, it's about evolving into the next version of ourselves, one that is freer, more open, and more aligned with our true potential. Letting go also requires us to embrace uncertainty. When we release old thought patterns, we may feel vulnerable or unsure of who we are without them. There is a fear of losing control, of stepping into a space where things aren't as predictable or clear. Yet, it is in this very uncertainty that growth occurs. The familiar thoughts that once guided us may have given us a sense of safety, but they also kept us confined. By letting go of them, we create room for new thoughts, new beliefs, and new ways of approaching life. This new territory, though uncertain, holds infinite potential for personal growth and expansion. Furthermore, letting go involves a certain amount of trust. It's the trust that the process of change will lead us to something better, even if we can't yet see the outcome. It's about having faith that the discomfort we feel during this shift is temporary, and that on the other side lies the opportunity to become a more authentic, empowered version of ourselves. This trust allows us to release the grip we have on old thought patterns and let the natural flow of growth and change take place. Ultimately, the courage to let go is an essential step in the journey of transformation. It is the willingness to release the past, to challenge the status quo of our thinking, and to step into a future filled with uncertainty, but also limitless possibility. Letting go frees us from the constraints of old beliefs, allowing us to embrace new ways of thinking that will propel us toward greater fulfillment, purpose, and growth. In life, we often find ourselves facing circumstances that seem beyond our control, challenges, setbacks, failures, and obstacles that appear to define our reality. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that our circumstances are the ultimate determining factor in how we experience life. However, the truth is that our mindset matters far more than our circumstances. The way we think, the lens through which we view the world, plays a far greater role in shaping our outcomes than the external factors we face. Our mindset influences everything: our emotions, our reactions, and our ability to navigate through life's inevitable difficulties. Two people can face the same difficult situation, but their responses to it can be completely different. One might feel defeated, overwhelmed, and stuck, while the other might see it as an opportunity for growth, innovation, and learning. What makes the difference? It's their mindset. A growth-oriented mindset allows us to approach challenges with a sense of possibility, while a fixed mindset can leave us paralyzed by the belief that we are helpless in the face of adversity. When we cultivate a mindset that focuses on possibility rather than limitation, we begin to see obstacles as opportunities in disguise. Every challenge we encounter becomes a chance to learn, adapt, and become stronger. It's not that we ignore the difficulties we face, but rather we shift our focus from what we cannot control to what we can. We start to recognize that while we may not have the power to change the circumstances themselves, we do have control over how we respond to them. Our thoughts, attitudes, and actions are within our power to adjust, and it is these responses that determine how we move through adversity. A mindset that embraces resilience is a powerful tool for overcoming adversity. Resilience is not about avoiding challenges, it's about how we bounce back from them. When we have a resilient mindset, we see failure as a temporary setback, not a permanent condition. We learn from our mistakes, adjust our approach, and keep going. This mindset empowers us to persist in the face of difficulties, knowing that challenges are part of the journey and that each step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Ultimately, the key to overcoming adversity lies not in the circumstances we face, but in how we think about them. Our mindset is the lens through which we view our lives, and by shifting that lens, we gain the power to transform our experiences. When we take ownership of our mindset, we take ownership of our lives. We begin to move through the world with a sense of purpose, resilience, and optimism, knowing that our thoughts shape our reality more than anything else. The circumstances may not always be in our favor, but with the right mindset, we can find a way to thrive regardless of them. Empathy is one of the most powerful tools we have to transform not only our relationships with others, but also our own mindset. It's easy to become caught up in our own experiences, thoughts, and feelings, allowing them to shape how we see the world. However, when we make the conscious effort to step outside of our own perspective and try to understand the experiences of others, we open ourselves up to new insights and a deeper connection to the world around us. Empathy has the ability to shift our perspective in profound ways, helping us see beyond the limitations of our own experiences and embracing the richness of human diversity. At its core, empathy is about understanding and sharing the feelings of others. It requires us to listen not just with our ears, but with our hearts. It's about putting ourselves in someone else's shoes and seeing the world from their point of view, not just our own. This process allows us to break free from the confines of our personal biases and assumptions, enabling us to connect with others on a more genuine and meaningful level. When we approach others with empathy, we are acknowledging that their feelings, experiences, and struggles are valid whether or not they align with our own. This understanding fosters compassion and mutual respect, creating a sense of unity rather than division. When we expand our ability to empathize with others, we also begin to see the world in a more nuanced way. It is so easy to become entrenched in our own experiences and viewpoints that we lose sight of the bigger picture. We may interpret events solely based on our personal history, fears, or desires, but empathy invites us to see beyond ourselves. It teaches us that every person's actions and decisions are influenced by their own unique journey, struggles, and beliefs. In this way, empathy not only allows us to understand others, but also helps us challenge the assumptions and stereotypes we may unknowingly hold. It encourages open-mindedness and a broader, more inclusive outlook on life. Empathy also plays a crucial role in shifting our mindset from one of judgment to one of curiosity. Instead of rushing to conclusions or reacting impulsively to others' behaviors, we start to ask questions. What might this person be going through? What are they feeling? What is their perspective? This shift in thinking helps us respond more thoughtfully with compassion and understanding, rather than defensiveness or anger. It opens the door for deeper, more meaningful conversations and relationships. Furthermore, embracing empathy allows us to become more patient and less reactive, especially in times of conflict. Instead of seeing disagreements as battles to be won, we begin to view them as opportunities to learn about others' perspectives and find common ground. This change in mindset can lead to greater harmony and collaboration in all areas of life. From personal relationships to professional environments, life is full of challenges, and it's easy to fall into the trap of viewing them as obstacles or setbacks. When faced with difficulties, it's natural to feel frustrated or defeated, especially when things don't go according to plan. However, what if we reframe the way we view these challenges? Instead of seeing them as roadblocks, we could begin to see them as opportunities for growth. Every challenge has the potential to teach us something new about ourselves, about others, and about the world. By shifting our perspective, we can transform even the most difficult situations into stepping stones toward greater resilience and success. Reframing challenges involves changing the narrative we tell ourselves about them. It's about moving away from a mindset that sees problems as insurmountable to one that views them as chances to learn, adapt, and evolve. For instance, when we face a setback, instead of thinking, this is too hard, and I can't overcome it, we can choose to think this is an opportunity for me to develop new skills, become more resourceful, and discover new ways of tackling problems. This shift in thinking doesn't diminish the difficulty of the situation, but it changes how we approach it. Instead of feeling stuck, we begin to see the situation as a challenge to rise to, rather than a reason to give up. One of the key benefits of reframing challenges is that it fosters resilience. When we view difficulties as opportunities for growth, we are more likely to persevere through adversity. Resilience is not about avoiding hardship. It's about how we respond to it. A resilient person doesn't let a challenge define their potential for success. Instead, they use the experience to build their strength and character. When we reframe our thinking in this way, we begin to cultivate the mental and emotional fortitude needed to face whatever life throws at us. Each challenge becomes a lesson, a moment to learn from and grow stronger. Reframing challenges also sparks creativity and innovation. When we face difficulties with a mindset focused on solutions rather than problems, we open ourselves up to new ideas and approaches. The pressure of a challenge often forces us to think outside the box, to experiment, and to find creative solutions we might not have considered otherwise. When we stop viewing challenges as failures or personal shortcomings and start seeing them as opportunities to innovate, we can approach problems with a sense of curiosity and exploration rather than fear. Moreover, reframing challenges encourages a growth mindset, an essential ingredient for success. People with a growth mindset believe that their abilities and intelligence can be developed through hard work, dedication, and perseverance. By viewing challenges as opportunities, they see failures as temporary and part of the process of learning and improvement. This mindset allows them to bounce back from setbacks quickly, knowing that each experience contributes to their personal growth. Self-compassion is a powerful and transformative tool that many of us overlook in our pursuit of personal growth and change. When faced with setbacks, mistakes, or challenges, it's easy to fall into the trap of self-criticism, believing that we need to be harsh on ourselves in order to improve. However, this approach often does more harm than good. Instead of fostering growth, it breeds feelings of guilt, shame, and inadequacy, which can trap us in negative thought patterns and hinder our progress. Self-compassion, on the other hand, is the practice of treating ourselves with the same kindness, care, and understanding that we offer a close friend in times of difficulty. It allows us to release the burden of self-judgment, creating space for healing, growth, and transformation. The essence of self-compassion lies in recognizing that being imperfect is part of being human. We all make mistakes, face challenges, and experience moments of failure. These are inevitable aspects of life, yet many of us struggle to accept them. When we embrace self-compassion, we acknowledge that we don't need to be perfect to be worthy of love, acceptance, or respect. Instead of beating ourselves up when things go wrong, we allow ourselves the grace to be human, knowing that failure is not a reflection of our worth, but simply a part of the journey toward growth. One of the most profound effects of self-compassion is its ability to dissolve guilt and shame. Guilt often stems from the belief that we have done something wrong, while shame arises from the belief that we are inherently flawed or unworthy. Both emotions can be paralyzing, preventing us from moving forward or making positive changes. Self-compassion helps us break free from this cycle by encouraging us to treat ourselves with understanding rather than self-condemnation. Instead of holding on to guilt or shame, we can recognize our mistakes as opportunities to learn, grow, and do better next time. This shift in mindset allows us to release the emotional weight that holds us back and create space for transformation. Moreover, self-compassion fosters a sense of inner peace and emotional resilience. Life is full of ups and downs, and it's easy to become overwhelmed by the challenges we face. However, when we are kind to ourselves in difficult moments, we build the emotional strength necessary to weather life's storms. Self-compassion helps us maintain a positive, supportive inner dialogue, allowing us to navigate hardships with greater ease and clarity. Instead of succumbing to self-doubt or despair, we begin to trust ourselves and our ability to handle adversity. Self-compassion also enhances our ability to change and grow. When we are kind to ourselves, we remove the fear of failure that often prevents us from taking risks or making changes. Instead of worrying about making mistakes or not measuring up, we approach growth with curiosity and openness. This encourages us to take bold steps toward change, knowing that we have the capacity to learn from our experiences and continue evolving. Changing the way you think is one of the most powerful and transformative actions you can take, not just for your own personal growth, but for the impact it has on your entire life. The way we think influences everything about our lives, from how we approach challenges to how we interact with others. When you change your thoughts, it triggers a ripple effect that spreads throughout every area of your existence. The small shift in mindset can have profound consequences, impacting your behavior, your relationships, and even how the world responds to you. At the heart of this ripple effect is the understanding that our thoughts shape our perceptions, and our perceptions shape our reality. If we approach life with a mindset of possibility, optimism, and resilience, we begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. Our actions follow suit. We take risks, pursue our goals with determination, and approach challenges with confidence. This shift in behavior creates positive momentum in our lives. We become more proactive, more driven, and more open to the possibilities that life offers. As a result, we begin to experience more success, growth, and fulfillment. This change in thought doesn't just affect our own actions, it also influences how others perceive us. When we adopt a positive and empowered mindset, we begin to project an energy of confidence, self-assurance, and authenticity. People notice the shift. They feel the change in the way we communicate, interact, and carry ourselves. This perception often leads to stronger connections and relationships. People are naturally drawn to those who exude equity and resilience. When we believe in ourselves and our abilities, others are more likely to believe in us too. This opens up opportunities for collaboration, support, and connection. The ripple effect extends beyond our personal interactions. It also shapes how the world interacts with us. When we change our mindset, we begin to attract different experiences and opportunities. A person with a growth mindset, for instance, is more likely to be seen as someone capable of handling challenges and adapting to change. This attracts job offers, opportunities for advancement, and meaningful experiences. When we approach the world with a mindset of gratitude and abundance, we begin to see more of those qualities reflected back at us in our interactions, relationships, and circumstances. The energy we project becomes a magnet for the experiences we desire. Additionally, changing the way we think can have a profound impact on our ability to handle adversity. Instead of being defeated by setbacks, we start to view them as stepping stones to success. This resilience becomes contagious, inspiring those around us to adopt a similar mindset. We become leaders in our own lives and in the lives of others, showing by example how a shift in thinking can lead to greater peace, success, and joy. In conclusion, the way we think shapes every aspect of our lives. By changing our mindset, we unlock the potential for growth, resilience, and transformation. From embracing challenges as opportunities to practicing self-compassion, each shift in thought helps us build a stronger, more empowered version of ourselves. As we reframe our perspectives and act with empathy and courage, we begin to see the world differently, and in turn, the world responds to us in new and powerful ways. Remember, the power to change your life lies within you. It starts with changing the way you think. The way you think is the gateway to everything you want. Change the way you think and you change the world. Thank you.